folks, in today's video you're going to see how to create an e-commerce app, and that's the part 3. What we're going to do in today's video is we're going to see how to get the access to a web. So let's get started. I'm going to go here, and here we have, first we need a file called as settings for storing our secret key, and then the wsgi applications, their language, their passwords, and all about the database. So that's why I've created a settings file, and here what we're going to do is first we're going to import OS. And then I've created a variable called base there. That's going to be the directory, the base directory. And here what I did was I've built a path inside the project. And then I've created a secret key for the production. And I set the debug to true. But that doesn't mean we have to run the settings file. It's not going to run anything. And then I've created allowed hosts. These are going to be the hosts that are allowed for our project. I've set it to an empty list. And then we have the installed apps. These are all going to be the installed apps like the admin, the auth, and their content types, their sessions, messages, static files. So, and then we have store config where we store all these things. And then I have the middleware, and then we have the root URL configuration that I've set to e-commerce URLs where we get all the URLs. And then I've put the templates for the backend. I've called the Django template backends. And then I've set this to an empty list, and then I've told app this is true, and here I've for the context processors, these are all going to be the context processor. That's going to be debug, request, auth, and messages. And then I've put the wsgi application. So now what is wsgi and asgi that's common in e-commerce? So here we're going to get the acceptance for putting our project up here. That's going to be the wsgi application. The asgi application is for continuing it like that only. And then we have the database where the engine, that's going to be the backend SQLite 3. And then we have the name here. I'm going to join this SQLite 3 and then base there. I put all the auth password validators here. That's going to be the auth password validation. Then we have user attribute similarity validator, and then we have minimum length validator, the common password validator, numeric password validator. And then I've put the language code to English and the time zone to UTC. And I've set the USC I18N to true and USC LI0N to true. And then I've set the USC TZ to true also. And then I've got the access to the static files over here. Here we have the images, different images. So that's going to be the media URL. I put it inside the media URL. And the static files directory is going to be the base there, and the static, that's going to be this directory. So this is going to be our settings file. Let's go to our URLs file and check what's there. Here I've imported admin. I've imported admin, and I've imported path and include. We need this path and include for including that this. We are importing path and include, and then we need static for getting access to static files, and then settings for getting access to the settings file. And what I did was I've put all the URLs over here. So I've told URL patterns is equal to, it's a list. I put a path that's going to be the admin here. Let me show you guys the admin. Yes, this is going to be the admin where only staffs can log in. So that's going to be the admin site.urls, and here we have this store URLs. I've set it to an empty path because we need the path that's given by Anaconda prompt. We'll put the path that's given by Anaconda prompt. And then I'm going to say URL pattern is equal to URL patterns plus the static files over here. So I'm going to say URL pattern is equal to URL patterns plus static. I'm going to say settings.media URL. I'm going to get the access to the media URL and the media root. And then I'm going to create a new file that's going to be wsgi. So let me save this and say wsgi. I'm going to go to my desktop and move to e-commerce, and then here you have the e-commerce. I'm going to save it. And here first I'm going to import OS. So let me say import OS, and then we are going to import this wsgi application. So I'm going to say from the django.core.wsgi import get wsgi application, and then I'm gonna set the environment over here. So I'm gonna say os.environ.set default, and here I'm gonna put the settings of Django. So I'm gonna say Django underscore settings underscore module, and then it's gonna be the e-commerce settings. I'm gonna get this settings, Django settings module and the e-commerce setting module, and then I'm gonna say application is equal to get wsgi application. So whenever I call this application, we're gonna get this wsgi application, and then I'm gonna create a new file. This is gonna be the asgi for continuing it to stay on the web. It's almost gonna be similar, but the imports are gonna be different. That's all. Control A, Control C, Control V, Control V, and it's gonna be asgi, and here also asgi. Yes, and let me save this up. So yeah guys, now we know how to get the compatibility to the web using wsgi and asgi. That's great. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you guys. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment below. Bye bye.